Hey everyone, we're back. Fix my hair. Our daily spread, Tarot by Keith. Today is Friday. I can do this. February the 19th, 2021. We're coming up on the end of the Mercury retrograde. Coming out. It goes direct on the 21st. Comes out of its shadow March 13th. So we're still going to be feeling this like people aren't getting back to you. It's really hard to communicate. It's hard to make plans that come into fruition. A lot of wrenches in the gears, a lot of technology on the fritz, things such as this. I think we'll see a playful bloom of what we've already been feeling. Like I said, this is the most retrograde Mercury retrograde I've ever experienced. And two friends I was talking to yesterday on the phone said the same thing, coincidentally. I was like, I was just talking about that. So let's tune into collective energies for the day. Daily spread. On the flip note, it's hard to, wow, it flew out. It's hard to, it's hard to bend the external world right now into your power of manifestation and influence because we don't have the power of Mercury on our side. But I've made immense progress internally and in my own home space, on my own acre of land. So get your own house in order. If other people aren't showing up or calling you back or making plans to do the work that you wanted to do, find something to do yourself. You can depend and rely on yourself. All right, what are we moving away from? This. Okay, moving into, that's where we are presently. And then one more card. What are we moving into? I keep forgetting the present moment. Isn't that funny? What are we moving into? Human collective. There we go. Thank you. Okay. What do the cards have for us today? All right. We are moving away from massive transformation collectively. Nameless Arcanum 13, commonly referred to as the Death card in modern decks. He's not near as scary as he looks. Yeah, he's skeletal. But, hi Pablo, see you soon. He's skeletal, but he's flesh-colored, right? And his spine has light blue energy, which is Kundalini, light blue heaven energy. Active root and active throat. This says root and throat chakra activation. I had a huge root chakra activation last week. I couldn't walk throughout my back, so, they call it. But I had to sit and stretch and work with my lower back and stretch out, and I could feel myself releasing all of this stored trauma from my personal life, my ancestral life, the collective. It went all the way back to the rape of the divine feminine. And we're clearing that. So I know other people felt that too. There's something going on at the throat. You're talking, you're expressing. I think a lot of people hit the breaking point and they're speaking up. They just can't stand it because there is no access at this point to the upper two chakras, the third eye and the crown, and then the ka above that. So there's an activation at the root related to an activation at the throat, which is opening up access to the higher chakras. That's all good news. He's cut away with his yellow scythe the pieces of himself that no longer serve. So this is the layers upon layers of yourself that you've built up to protect yourself from getting hurt, or to present yourself as you wanted to present yourself for acceptance. So this is peeling away the layers of falsehood. And black resembles ego in the tarot. So he's using these cut body parts that resemble pieces of himself that no longer serve to use as compost in the soil, to till the ego, to purify the soil in which we plant our soul in this body. He's stepping forward, moving into the future from a flesh-colored foot, stepping on what he once considered himself to be as royalty, moving forward in humility, stepping onto his spiritual light blue leg. There's a white bone of purity on the future with 7 holes in it. It's like a flute waiting for the breath of God to blow through and make music. And he's marching toward the music. He's hearing the music. Also, the blade of the scythe is red and light blue. So he's using his spirituality actively, grabbing a hold of the yellow handle, his knowledge, with both his flesh and spiritual colored hand to do this work. Major transformation. Number 3 on the upper octave. 3 represents creativity, expression, and growth. Growth being the key word in Nameless Arcanum 13. So on a collective level, we're cutting away some of the BS and we're seeing the truth, and we're showing and expressing ourselves in truth. Even though it's a little fresh and new and scary, we're showing our real selves to the world. And we're waking up again. Same message. We're waking up. What's he marching toward in the present moment? Reclaiming our fire, vanquishment of what's been keeping us, blocking us from our fire. So, Knight of Wands. After the cycle of 1 through 10, you hit the 4 court cards. The Page, the Queen, the King, and lastly the Knight. So this is the last card of the Wands suit. Wands represent fire, desire, passion, will, creativity, and sexuality. Again, how we express ourselves to the world reminds me of the throat chakra thing over here. So his consciousness is looking toward the future. He's firmly inside his body. Soul embodiment has occurred. He's purified his body. This horse represents his body, wearing the clothing of flesh. White resembles purity. So the dark feeds the light. This work that Arcanum 13 did, tilling the soil, has purified his vessel. A big swath of divine feminine intuition coming toward the future. He's in alignment with his body. Remember, your consciousness is your body's spirit guide. They're looking in the same direction. His mind is working with his body. They're not fighting each other. However, both of their bodies are facing what happened in the recent past, which would be this Nameless Arcanum 13, major transformation. Physically, they're still integrating the lesson. Their consciousness is looking toward the future as he grabs a hold of that green wand, rebirth of his fire energy. But their bodies are still catching up and assimilating and integrating the lessons that came from this major transformation. Lots of green in this card. Green is rebirth. I always say think of a tree that looks to be dead in the winter, and all hope is lost. The tree's gone, and then the spring comes along, and you get a big burst of green. It's a part of yourself waiting to emerge, waiting for the right timing, and waiting for you to have done the work for that part of yourself to emerge. So this is coming, and it's happening by grabbing a hold of this fire, grabbing a hold of this wand. The Knights always bring the word vanquishment to mind for me, like you vanquished something, like it was a long battle, but the war is over. So whatever's been blocking you from grabbing a hold of your fire, doing this major transformative work is helping you get rid of that block and grab your fire. All right, Queen of Pentacles in the near future. She's a difficult card for me to read. 2 court cards, so the only number is number 3. She's steering off with the Knight of Wands, and there's a financial battle. Almost like, oh yeah, are you willing to put up an investment to reclaim your fire? Are you worth it? Are you going to go buy a bunch of art supplies and then blow it and not make any money? And she has this look on her face. She's just stern. She has this wealth, but she's almost like she's teasing him with it. But she would be teasing him in attempt to get him to overcome his fear, because she is royal, light blue, beautiful mixture of red and blue, and then she has this huge swath of purple, which is that inner unification, the master color, and the color of the crown chakra. So maybe she's like guarding. She's like, oh yeah, she's holding up this test to all of us because we feel the need to claim our fire. And she's saying, oh yeah, but what about this coin? And she's a decoy. She's a test. And if we pass it, we burst through and we get this huge, immense amount of purple energy, which is inner unification. So I'm going to read it that way. That's interesting. That's what came out. And the card that flew out at the beginning was the King of Pentacles, which in contrast to her is very good news on the financial front. So maybe he's the solution. Maybe he can talk to the queen and he can tell her, get out of the way of our abundance. That's our daily spread, February the 19th, 2021. Much love to all of you. I'll be back tomorrow, and love each other out there. Okay, bye.